was trying to figure out, how we got the run that we did, and trying to see how everything worked, because for me personally, I want to kind of use it as a learning tool to figure out, how we got such a big run on the final lap. But I think my bed was made to the top line when I chose to try to block the 4 car. Essentially, when I did that, I'd given up the bottom, and the 19 car, looking back on it, I was like, well, why didn't I just get down low? Well, the 19 car had filled the hole, and so my bed was made to, okay, now I'm committed to the top. But still, I thought, okay, well, we're still okay, because I have 4 Toyotas or Gibbs cars in front of me, or on the bottom line. I'm controlling the top line, so we still have we have a really good chance at this with 2.5 miles to go. And I just remember, getting the push from the 4. I think he hit me 2 or 3 times down the back straightaway, and I utilized that run really, really good. I was actually surprised that either Kyle or Martin did not pull up in front of us when they saw us coming with a huge run, and I think that the 20 did. He saw us coming and made a move, an instinct move, and it, whether it was right or wrong, it allowed me to make a move to try to stick it in there and make it work. But the only thing I could think is when I saw that open up, I was thinking, well, this is either a great opportunity to win or take out all 3 of our cars really, really quick. And selfishly, when you have a Daytona 500 checker flag about 300 yards away, it's hard not to take that move, and I would do it every time.
Coach Gibbs, I want to hear about the Steak and Shake story. I keep hearing Steak and Shake, Steak and Shake. What happened out there?
I'll give it to you. One thing, though, I was going to add. One thing before I get to Steak and Shake was I called Matt, afterwards, because I felt so bad for Matt. And he basically said that when he saw you guys coming up there, he had to make a choice. He's either going to stay down, or he said, I'm going to try and win Daytona 500. He said he felt like his only chance was to get up and get in front. And, it didn't pan out for him, but he was so good. He talked about Denny, great for him, teamwork-wise and everything. And for him, I got to tell you, Martin, first go around with us, was just, great. Carl, to be able to put that car back together, that thing was tore up, and wind up 5th. And then Kyle was sitting there too. I'm sure there's things that probably Kyle's thinking about today, that he could have done. But really a great day teamwork-wise. Yeah, I told the story all the time because when we won that first Daytona, I'll make it short, but we didn't know what to do. We wandered in the winner's circle and got Gatorade thrown all over us, grabbed the trophy, and we were out the back. We didn't know we didn't know any of this was going on. And so we're driving down the street with the family and everything, Pat and everybody saw Steak and Shake, pulled in there, and spent the next hour with the fans in there. There were a few of them were lit up. And, but there was a typical fan group, and we had more fun in the parking lot taking pictures. And so we made up our mind. Matter of fact, where did we go? We even went to Steak and Shake after
Brickyard.
It kind of was a tradition. So I said last night, we're going. And so we were down there, had the trophy. The guys were in there. It's fun because they recognize you, and then they all want to take pictures and everything of it. So we hung out there for a while, had a shake, and we wanted to make sure we held up our end of the tradition. So it's a big deal. It's a fun time. David came over and hung out with us for a little while too, so that was fun too. So he was making sure nobody got out of hand.
I picked up the check.
He picked up the check.
All $13 of it?
Yeah. No, I think
Expander, David. Nice.
I think it was $9, and he didn't leave a tip either.
A lot of time now in this car doing.
I can't even count it. The money's stacked so high, I can't see it. No, it's all Joe's money, right?
Everybody in this room knows who gets all the money. I told him my dream is with 500 people to 1 year make as much money as they do.
No, I've got an idea. The funny thing is for me is I'm sitting around there and I'm trying to pick everything out of victory lane. So I told Johnny Mack from NASCAR, is like, all right, so this banner that you have right here, I want that, and I want the pedestal that the trophy sits on, and all these things. And so they've been very gracious and helped me out with all this, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And so I'll figure out a place for it for sure. But it's just keeping all the little things. I mean, I even had Jordan in victory lane like, hey, scoop up some confetti and put it in a jar. So like, she's got a jar full of confetti that we're going to take home too. So it's just, I wanted to capture all the moments that I possibly could from this, because it's so cool.
Doug Turnbull, WSU Radio Atlanta. I guess.
Yeah, but I felt that 10 other times is the problem. Is it's just, you just never know, and there's so many circumstances that takes you in or out of a race at any given time. And what's interesting, I hearing Joe talk about, he's got all these other drivers that are second guessing the last lap. That is a really good problem to have when one of them got the win for you, but you got three others that are like, we all had a shot to win on the last lap. I mean, that's what we tried to do. That was the whole purpose of our plan before the race even started, was to give all of us a shot going into the last lap, and we all had a shot. So that's the cool thing about what transpired during yesterday's race, is that in the past it's been, well, we don't have this guy because he wrecked out, and one of us or one of my teammates or two of my teammates, or I've wrecked out in all these races, and it's hurt us in the past for not winning the Daytona 500. But I think that was the best display of teamwork I think I've ever seen for 500 miles, and that's what gave all four of us a shot to win the 500. And it was another thing, which is kind of off topic. I know I'm off topic right now, but you just have to deal with it. So is that we're trying to solidify our relationship with Truex and Cole Pern, and I think that yesterday was a great example of solidifying that relationship, because us drivers, we're scared to invite someone else new into our information and things like that, and I think that they did a really good job of playing teammates at the right time, and hopefully that's a relationship that we can build on for the rest of the year.
Crew chief that he can't hang and stay out late like you can, and for Mike as a crew chief, I mean, we know how big a deal it is for the driver to win the Daytona 500, but for you, I mean, what does it mean? And are you sitting up there thinking about, I wish I was back at the shop because we need to have this done and this done and this done?
Well, he can hang because I took him out on his bachelor party, so I know for a fact this guy can hang.
Yeah.
I still got the video.
Mike, what does it mean? Yeah, it's definitely a weird feeling right now because, right now we're undefeated. Winning the last week in the limited, winning 500, it's kind of nuts thinking that, wow, this is easy, right? This is how it should be. No, I don't care about being at the shop right now. I'm supposed to have a meeting at 12:30, and I'm okay missing it. We got a good group of guys at the shop taking care of the stuff. We'll get to Atlanta just fine. Plenty prepared and really just enjoying this moment.
It was teamwork. I mean, I think that the biggest key is I think we saw how fast our cars could go when we all just worked together and stayed together and let's not worry about what the outside line is doing, or if we're all on the outside, don't worry about what the inside, just stay in a line and let's see what kind of speed we can run. And we saw our cars were fast, and at that point I think that we knew that if we just ran the bottom, stayed in line, essentially the speeds we were running, it almost made it impossible for the outside line to really make a move on us. So I think that's a little bit of the lack of side-by-side, is that once we all got to the front, we then executed our strategy. But I mean, essentially, you look around at the cars that were up front, we all had a shot on the last lap. That's what it's about, is figuring out what you need to do to win the race on the 200 flat, and everyone wanted to put themselves in a position. And another thing is I think that handling came into play quite a bit, a lot more than what a lot of drivers anticipated. So I know just running third in line, I had my hands full quite a bit, just trying to run single file, and so running double file at any given point was going to be difficult. I mean, I think it's a coincidence, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is in particular that's making us succeed whenever adversity, I guess, comes about. But you know, for sure, inside the race car, there's, you know, I'm not bothered by anything. You know, it's only when I try to do anything running or jumping or do anything like that that I'm hampered at the moment. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think a lot of it is, you know, you make a stupid mistake, you go out there and you be reckless, and you don't want to hold your team back. So you put in that extra 10 or 20%, whatever it takes, to make sure you're not the weak link out on that racetrack. They have. I don't know how I'm going to hit the track at Atlanta on Friday, but I'll figure it out in due time. I'm hoping. I asked, please, could we take the plane when we leave here? Can we please reroute to like a 6-hour flight to New York so I can sleep a little bit? But you know, the greatest advice that I've gotten, you know, is probably from Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, and Jimmy Johnson. They all said the same exact thing. The schedule's kind of a pain, but live in the moment, because you never know. I mean, this is a huge accomplishment. This will live with you forever. So enjoy the week, and that's definitely what I'm gonna do.
We have time for two more.
There are a lot of drivers in this series or even in lower series that would love to have had your career even before yesterday, with all the success that you've had. I know you've had things that haven't always gone as well. You talked a little bit earlier about, you know, not having as much.
I mean, I don't read too much into the perception that other people have, but it's just more so probably of myself, for sure. I mean,
But I mean, you're supposed to be extremely confident, so you already have it.
yeah, I know, but you know, I still, you look around and it's like, well, you have won a Daytona 500, you have won a championship, you have won a Brickyard 400, and it's like, well, what have I really done? It doesn't, you know, I've won 26 races, but sometimes your career gets defined by the big races, and so I hear you. And so it's just, I don't know, it just helps with even more confidence. I've never been short of confidence. I think everyone knows that for sure. But I don't know, it just helps with, you know, crossing off some things on the you know, the bucket list before you kick the can.
So was yesterday more relief that you were able to cross one off, or more the excitement and thrill of winning the event?
That's 50-50. I mean, I can't favor one or the other, honestly. I mean, it's so close. You know, it's both. You know, I think at the moment when you cross the line, it's like the thrill, and then when you settle down for a second and you think about everything, then it's like, you know, this is something that's going to last forever. So this is really cool.
Thank you.
Hard every year, I really do, and I've had really good chase runs, and a lot of them have ended abruptly and unexpectedly at times. But I just feel like, you know, I'll have my time. I mean, I've had a lot of bad luck in the chase. Some luck I've created on my own, and made my own mistakes in the chase. But you know, I just feel like I can't keep knocking on the door and not eventually break through and win a championship. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't need Kyle's championship last year to tell me that my team or myself were capable of winning a championship. I've known that for a long time. You know, I just haven't gotten it done. I mean, essentially. So I think that, you know, it'll come if I just keep doing what we need.